Expedition fleet stands ready. We await only your command, Hierarch.
Today, we will reclaim our homeworld!
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's that big guy here again today, and today we're going to be covering the new Zerg units for StarCraft Legacy of the Void. Now, today we're going to be talking about the Ravager and the Lurker. The Lurker used to be in-game. You know, they took it out for whatever reasons before, and now they brought it back. And I've been playing both of these classes for the last 2 days, and let me tell you something, it just makes the Zerg more deadlier than what they already are. Now, don't forget, this is beta, so a lot of this stuff that's in this video may change over the course of the beta before the launch. So just FYI, so let's get to it. The Lurker, an evolutionary offshoot of the Hydralisk strain, is a powerful anti-ground ambusher. It can strike at the enemy of the swarm from beneath the soil with a deadly spine attack. Lurkers have no means to defend themselves above ground, but when burrowed, just a handful of them can turn a choke point into a nightmare. So these guys, they pretty much burrow themselves and they just do a heap of damage in a straight line. It's really cool how they do it. So with the Lurker has a lot of capabilities. It has for defense, trap, harassing. It's a pretty much all-in-one unit. It can't attack air units, and it can only attack when it's burrowed. It is an evolution of the Hydralisk. So you need to make a Hydralisk to make these. And I found there's so many possibilities that you can use this. Me personally, I like to use them for harassment, like sending them to my enemy's outpost and just putting them near their base and just having them completely destroy all their probes, SUVs, or whatever. The only thing I didn't really like about them is that they don't have... When they're above ground, they're so vulnerable. They don't attack, they just run away when they're attacked, but as soon as they hit that ground, they do large amounts of damage. Now, I'm not sure if they did any friendly fire, but they will tear up groups and groups of enemy units. Let's say Terran or another Zerg force with clusters of them, and they just happen to be strolling by without them seeing you. All you need to do is sit in the perfect place, like near their ramp of their base or near one of their outposts. Just set them down there, have one of your overlords carry them, set them down, and then bam. They won't be able to detect you unless you're a Protoss unit and you spec into it, or if you're a Terran and you use the global satellite to pretty much see them. And they will, you can just have them sitting around in a certain area near, let's say, a bunch of Vespene gas that haven't been taken by an enemy unit, and just have them sit there. And then they'll try to build there, and then you just keep them there and they will take care of the job. Now, there is a couple cons with this unit. I felt like I had to have an air unit nearby to watch over them just in case of a Raven or some kind of other flying unit that can attack ground troops with. And also, if you're going against a faster unit that can dodge the attacks, because you can dodge because it's kind of like a channel attack, like let's say against the Terran bike with flamethrower, or the new Terran Cyclone, which can move and still shoot at the same time, and it will be able to dodge the attacks. But other than that, it's a pretty strong unit. Next on our list is the Ravager, an evolution of the Roach. The Ravager has developed a bigger frame to store large quantities of fury fluid in its back. This creature can rapidly discharge plasma at ground targets, or launch a gob of Corrosive Bile in a parabolic arc. The projectile is slow, best used against stationary targets, but can destroy Protoss force fields, which is very useful against some Protoss players that uses force fields to block out ramps and stuff like that. You can destroy them with a couple shots of this stuff. This unit is the version of the Terran siege tank, but with a little bit more of a twist. You can control where this target is attacking. You can be more surgical on certain attacks. It's pretty much a Roach on steroids. It's an awesome new unit for the Zerg. It's well deserved because the Zerg really didn't have that much of a siege tank kind of feel to them. Now, when I was playing the Ravager, I made a lot of mistakes. First, I tried to attack probes individually, but with the Ravager, it's better. It's like the siege tank. It's better against structures, and especially against Protoss structures, because acid that they spit out is more efficient against shields and heavy armor structures. Now, I pulled one of the Ravagers to the side and fired on one of them. So it does do friendly damage. Then I encountered a Protoss army, and it didn't really go up good against them. So it would be better to have an escort of Zerglings, Roaches, or some other kind of unit to take care of the infantry while they do damage to the Protoss structures. And I also found out that when you have a group of them, spam pressing C was the most efficient way to do it, because on top of them having an auto attack, you can simultaneously press C for their artillery. Overall, it's a good unit. I prefer the Lurker in damage wise, because with these guys, it seemed like they couldn't stand up against another force all that well, like armor wise. But damage, siege damage, it's awesome. And another thing, the one catch of this unit is the enemy can't avoid attacks by using a incredibly complex macro method called moving their units. Hahaha. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please in the comment section leave information or remarks that you, and as always guys, you stay classy. Hey guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and a big old like and subscribe. And as always guys, you stay classy.
Hell hath no fury like a woman swarmed. Be quiet. I'm brooding.
This codpiece gives me tender loins. You want a piece of me, boy? You want a piece of meat, boy? Well, good. I've got flank, shank, ribeye, brisket, take your pick.